Have you ever wondered that when old things buried under the ground suddenly come to the fore, it is not just a treasure hidden in the soil, but a whole history? So far, many such treasures have been found around the world, which have surprised not only the common people, but also big presidents and governments. These are not just gold, silver, or precious things, but also reflect the life, thinking, and art of our ancestors. From the tombs of Egyptian kings to the hidden treasures of the medieval period, every discovery brings with it an unheard story. They help us understand how the people of that time lived, what they believed, and what they made. In the last few years, many big treasures have suddenly come to the fore during excavations, which no one had even expected. And when this happens, not only historians, but governments and agencies around the world also become alert. So what are these surprising treasures? Let us learn about them in this video and understand how these treasures give a new perspective to our history. If you want to see such interesting information related to history, discoveries, and treasures, then do subscribe to the channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you never miss the next discovery story. 800 tons of gold discovered on Robinson Crusoe Island. Sometimes science and technology combine to do such amazing things that even history is surprised. Something similar happened in the year 2005, when Juan Salinas, a Spanish engineer, created a very sensitive metal detector robot. With the help of this robot, his team discovered a huge treasure in the depths of the sea near Chile's famous Robinson Crusoe Island, which was about 800 tons of gold, and all of it was buried about 15 meters below. This treasure contained not only gold, but also silver, precious stones, and ancient things. Its total value was estimated to be around $10.5 billion. As soon as this news came out, a controversy also started regarding this treasure. Local officials claimed that this entire treasure belonged to them, while the Chilean government said that according to the country's law, half of it will go to the government. But Juan Salinas did not show any hurry in taking the money. He clearly said that he is not that worried about wealth. Not only did he agree to give his share to the government, but he also decided to divide the remaining amount among his team and the local people of Robinson Crusoe Island, so that everyone would benefit equally. There have been many instances in history when a small mistake or accident led to the hiding of a treasure worth crores, and the secret remained buried for centuries. One such incident happened with Spanish Admiral Juan Esteban Ubila in the 1700s. In 1714, when he and his fleet of 14 ships were returning with the treasure looted from the Inca Empire, a severe storm hit on the way. The situation became so bad that he ordered 80 wooden boxes filled with gold, silver, and precious jewels to be landed on an island and buried in the ground there. He also made a map of the treasure's location himself and tried to return to Spain with the remaining ships. But unfortunately, that journey proved to be his last. His ship sank in the ocean, and the secret also went with him. About 47 years later, Captain Cornelius Webb of the British ship Unicorn was sent in search of the same treasure. Legend has it that Webb found the treasure, but as his companions realized its true value, greed and infighting grew. When Webb sensed a mutiny, he hid the treasure again, and then set fire to the ship's gunpowder, killing himself and his treacherous companions. The treasure vanished again, leaving only an incomplete map and a plethora of questions. Sometimes it happens that a secret remains hidden in just one document, but it takes a lifetime to understand it. Something similar happened when an old letter was found in 1950, which Captain Cornelius Webb had left before his death. The location of the treasure was mentioned in that letter, but in such a complex language and signs that it was not easy to understand it. After this, people started digging with various tools on this small 47.1 square kilometer island. Many local people kept searching for years in the hope that perhaps they would find the hidden gold. In 1988, a rich American businessman, Bernard Kaiser, also got the excavation done on this island, but he did not get much success. In fact, the real change came when engineer Juan Selenas from Spain arrived on this mission. With the help of the special metal detector robot made by him, the treasure that people had been searching for decades was finally revealed. Earlier, this island used to be a quiet place for only a few selected tourists. But ever since this huge treasure was discovered, hundreds of people come here every day, hoping that maybe they are destined to find some other hidden treasure too. $1.3 billion treasure found in China, sometimes during excavation. Something comes out that no one expects. Something similar happened in China's Jiangxi province. This area is famous for its ceramics, i.e. porcelain. But on the 29th of November 1980, something was found there that surprised everyone. Actually, when the excavation of number 2 power plant was going on in Jiangxi, a laborer saw a deep pit under the ground. When he looked inside with a torch, he saw some bottle-like things shining there. Why would a common man keep bottles at such a depth? With this thought, he immediately informed the site engineer and officials about it. Soon, a team of experts reached the spot. Since this area is known as the capital of ceramics, they hoped that perhaps some old and valuable things would be found. When the team examined the pit properly, they found out that all the things kept inside were made of blue-white colored porcelain. After about an hour of careful digging, everything was taken out and taken to the museum. When counted, a total of 245 cultural heritages were found, of which 239 were porcelain objects. 19 of these were Qinghua porcelain, specifically made in Jingdezhen, famous for its intricate designs and excellent quality. This is why Jingdezhen was considered the favorite place of the Chinese imperial court when it came to pottery making. There are very few things in the world that are so rare that their number is limited to 100 or 200 only. Such is the case of Qinghua porcelain. There are less than 300 pieces of it in the whole world. Therefore, when 19 pieces were found together in a single excavation, even the experts themselves were surprised. This was a record in itself. In total, more than 200 porcelain items were found from that pit. These included not only Qinghua, but 168 items made from the furnaces of Longchuan and some red glazed porcelain as well. Experts say that the total value of all these will not be less than 10 billion yuan. After investigation, it was estimated that all these priceless items must have belonged to a rich family in the middle or last period of the Yuan dynasty, 1371 to 1368. But it is still a mystery why and for what reason such valuable items were buried at such a depth. Today, all these rare objects are preserved in a local museum in Jiangxi province. Experts say that even though the Yuan dynasty lasted only about 100 years, this period played a very important role in the development of porcelain, especially Qinghua porcelain. In fact, Qinghua porcelain has its roots in the Tang and Song dynasties. But during the Yuan period, artisans improved the earlier techniques and took it to new heights. Giant treasure. In the Armenian tomb, it is common to find skeletons, pottery, or tools during excavations. But when gold jewelry and thousands of years-old beads are found together, the matter becomes special. Recently, one such old cemetery was excavated in the Metsamor region of Armenia, where a very special grave was found. This grave is said to be from the Late Bronze Age, i.e., around 1300 to 1200 BC. Gold pendants and more than 100 beads made of amber and carnelian stones have been found in it. Skeletons of a man and a woman have also been found inside the grave, looking at which it has been estimated that both of them died at the same time. According to Professor Kisho Jakubek of the University of Warsaw, how they died is still a mystery. But it is certain that the grave was never opened again, so both must have been buried together. The two were laid to rest in a stone grave and were accompanied by a wooden funeral bed, a ceramic vessel, and about 10 pottery vessels. Researchers believe the beads and pendants found were part of 3 different necklaces. In addition, one ceramic vessel may have been brought from the border between Syria and Mesopotamia. So far, about 100 tombs have been found in this area. But this recently discovered tomb is special because it was found before it was looted. Excavations have been going on since 1965, and most of the graves were covered with mounds of soil, which were washed away over time. 2 precious stones that changed lives. Some discoveries change a person's fate, and the story of Sunyu Laser, a miner living in Tanzania, Africa, is a true example of this. The 2 rare Tanzanite stones he discovered in June 2020 made him a millionaire overnight. This is the same Tanzanite that is found only in northern Tanzania and is so rare that scientists believe that its reserves may be completely exhausted in the next 20 years. When Laser sold these 2 stones, he got an amount of about $3.4 million, about 25 crores rupees. The then president of the country, John Magufuli himself, called him and congratulated him on such a big discovery. Laser's life was full of simplicity. He is the father of 4 wives and 30 children, and it is not an easy task to earn a living for such a big family. But he clearly said that now he wants to do something with this money, not only for himself, but also for the society, like building a shopping center and a school. Now, let's talk about the size of these stones. This is no less surprising. The Tanzanite that was previously recorded in the Guinness Book of Records weighed 3.3 kilograms, but the stones discovered by Laser weighed 9.2 kilograms and 5.8 kilograms. That is, much heavier and more valuable than the record. The Viking treasure. In Britain, if someone finds a gold or silver item older than 300 years, it is legally mandatory to inform the government within 14 days. But some people ignore the law when they get hold of a treasure. This is what happened in 2015, when 2 people, George Powell and Leighton Davis, found a very old and valuable treasure in Leominster, England. This treasure is considered to be one of the biggest discoveries in the history of the UK. It included a large number of gold jewelry, silver bars, and rare Viking-era coins. But instead of informing the government about it, the 2 treasure hunters secretly contacted antique dealers and tried to sell the treasure in pieces. Due to this act, both of them were charged with theft and damaging historical heritage. Experts say that the value of this treasure could be up to $12 million, about 100 crore rupees. But the real significance of this discovery lies in its historical legacy, which could reshape the history of England. What is special about this is that it contained jewelry, silver ingots, and crystal pendants from the 5th to the 9th century, which are still considered extremely important to archaeologists today. Many times in history, such discoveries happen that unveil old secrets. The large number of about 300 coins of the Viking period that have been found is one such case. These coins are from around 879 AD, when there were many small kingdoms in England, and the situation was quite turbulent. At that time, King Alfred, Wessex, and King Ceolwulf, Mercia, were the rulers of two different kingdoms. But the images of both the kings are seen together on these coins, which indicates that perhaps there was an alliance between the two kingdoms at that time, which historians were not aware of till now. While on the one hand this discovery is being considered very important from the historical point of view, on the other hand, there is no less controversy about hiding and selling it. According to reports, George Powell and Leighton Davis have clearly denied the allegations of theft and hiding the treasure. They say that the news related to selling the treasure and these coins are just rumors. But the police recovered some deleted photos from Davis's mobile, which confirmed that the treasure was indeed with him. The court eventually sentenced Powell to 10 years and Davis to 8.5 years. Along with this, two antique dealers, Winks and Davis, the other man, were also sentenced to 5 years for buying stolen goods. Now, the British government is trying to bring back these priceless things. However, a large part of the treasure is still missing, and the search for it is going on. Archaeologists and officials are searching for it together. The mysterious treasure of Japan. During World War II, the Japanese military seized gold, jewels, and valuables from several Asian countries. The loot was to be used to pay for the war. In 1944, General Tomoyuki Yamashita was sent to the Philippines, where he planned to dig hundreds of tunnels to hide the treasure, specifically at a place called Kagan Bay. When the treasure was complete, it is said that all the soldiers involved were killed so that only Yamashita would know the secret. But when he was hanged for war crimes in 1946, the secret went with him. Nearly 25 years later, in 1971, a local carpenter, Rogelio Roxas, received a map from a Japanese friend indicating the possible location of the treasure. He dug for 7 months and eventually found some gold bars and a Buddha statue weighing about 900 kilograms. When the news spread, the police raided his house and confiscated the treasure. After this, everyone from the government to the common people started searching for the treasure in Kalangut Bay. The then president, Ferdinand Marcos, also showed interest in this discovery. Although it was never officially confirmed what he found, but when he was accused of corruption, he made a statement. "I have found the Japanese treasure. That is why I have assets worth billions." Sometimes some news suddenly comes out and grabs everyone's attention. This happened when Manila Daily News claimed in a report that the Japanese treasure is hidden under the Philippines' Kagan Bay, which is about 112 kilometers away from Manila. It was told that this treasure contains about 800 tons of gold and silver, which was estimated to be worth about $8 billion at that time. Along with this, some very important documents were also included in it. After this, the attention went towards another place, Fort Santiago, which is a historical site of the Philippines. There, an elderly man told presidential advisor Emmanuel Soriano that he had been a prisoner in this fort in 1944, and during that time, he had participated in burying 140 boxes of Japanese treasure. He also made a map and told the value of the treasure to be about $700 billion. In 1988, President Corazon Aquino quietly allowed some American explorers to dig beneath Fort Santiago. The team reported finding traces of about 400 tons of gold, but a tunnel collapsed, trapping 2 workers. And that's when the case exploded. The Philippines Congress then decided to halt the nationwide treasure hunt. Initially, consultant Emmanuel Soriano claimed 1,000% chance of finding the treasure. But the plan fizzled out after he left office. The Yamashita treasure has become an enigma, appearing every now and then, suddenly vanishing. And that may be why some continue to quietly search for it today. The forgotten treasure in Egypt. Thousands of old graves and tombs have been found on the land of Egypt so far, but some discoveries are such that they attract the attention of the whole world. One of these is the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, which was discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922. This tomb is located in the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, and no one knew about it before its discovery. Tutankhamun may not have been considered one of the most powerful rulers of Egypt, but his tomb is special because the things inside it were found almost intact, even after thousands of years. Gold-plated rides and precious furniture were found in the initial room, while a 3-layered coffin was found in the main chamber, the innermost layer of which was made of about 100 kilograms of pure gold. Apart from this, many gold statues and boxes full of jewelry were also found in the tomb. Howard Carter and his team found about 3,000 things from this tomb. It took them 10 years to clean and catalog them. Even today, the exact price of these treasures has not been determined, but it is certain that this is one of the most important archaeological discoveries in Egypt. Thousands of years have passed since Tutankhamun's death, but the things buried with him are still roaming in museums around the world and keep surprising people. The billion-dollar treasure in the city of the monkey. God, there are still many places in the dense forests of Honduras where human feet hardly reach. But in early 2015, something happened that caught the attention of historians and archaeologists from all over the world. American documentary filmmaker Steve Elkins found traces of a mysterious ancient city in an area called La Mosquitia, which was later called Ciudad Blanca, i.e., White City. Elkins was helped in this discovery by some SAS soldiers, search teams, and archaeologists. When the excavation began, precious gold and silver items, carved statues, and many cultural heritages were found from there. This area came to be known as White City because it was surrounded by white limestone. Virgilio Paredes, head of the Archaeological Institute of Honduras, says that this civilization is completely different from the Mayan civilization and was not recorded in history till now. According to experts, the total value of the things found from here can be equal to billions of dollars. If we go back, in the 1940s, an explorer named Theodore Mord also discovered some ruins in the same area. However, he kept his discovery secret because he was afraid that people would reach there and damage the ancient place. He mentioned it in an American newspaper as the White City of the Monkey God. The treasure of the Nazis. During the Second World War, not only were wars fought, but there was also large-scale looting. The Nazi army seized gold, jewelry, and priceless art from many European countries. As the war came to a close, these looted treasures were hidden in different secret locations in Europe. After the war, governments of many countries launched campaigns to find them. One of the biggest and most talked about discoveries was the Merkers salt mine in the German state of Thuringia, from where gold bricks, coins, and currency worth about $514 million were recovered, which is equivalent to about 200 trillion Vietnamese dong in today's terms. More recently, in May last year, an organization called claimed that they had discovered 4 tons of gold. They got this information from the diary of a German soldier. It was told that this gold was buried under the Masików Palace in Poland, an 18th-century building that Hitler's army used as storage. Initial investigations revealed that this gold was previously deposited in the Reichsbank of Poland, which Hitler stole in the last months of the war and hid it with the intention of laying the foundation of a new empire. These revelations once again shocked people about the huge amount of wealth Hitler and his close associates had accumulated. The treasure of the Saw clan. From time to time, some things are found in the Musong forests of the Mai Cha Son region of Laos that surprise people. Sometimes a farmer finds clay pots filled with silver, while plowing his field, and sometimes people with metal detectors discover gold statues under the ground. One such incident happened in Banvat village on the Thai-Lao border, when some explorers found a golden elephant, which was the size of a kettle. When the team left, some old officials of the village started adding old memories and stories. They remembered that about 50 years ago, some soldiers of Hanoi stayed in this village, and during the war, they seized a golden elephant. It is believed that they buried that treasure in a garden here, so that they could come back later and take it. After this, many people dug, but nothing concrete was found. Ban Wat was once the capital of the Saw clan, ruled by Chief Saw Min. Before the August Revolution, he was a well-known leader throughout the Muang Sang region, well-read, far-sighted, and a man who helped the people. When he feared that the war could lead to the loss of his treasure, he had it secretly buried in a special way, in a northwest direction. Many young people from the village worked together for weeks, burying jars full of silver and gold, along with old bronze vessels with 12 and 6 handles, and many other rare objects. But later, a notebook containing the location of the treasure was lost, and it has remained buried underground ever since. To this day, the Saw clan treasure remains a mystery, searched for by many, but never found. Conclusion: whenever an old thing is found underground, be it gold, a pottery, or a king's sword, it is not just a treasure, but an era that comes alive in front of us. These discoveries help us understand how people lived, believed, and used things of old times. Each treasure brings with it an unfinished story and increases our curiosity. They remind us that history still hides a lot that we are yet to know. Now, it's your turn. Tell us which of all these treasures you found the most interesting. Do write in the comments below. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more such mysterious and interesting discoveries. Goodbye for now. See you again with a new discovery.